endlessly searching for an original sound.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Bright Paw. And if my mic sounds different, it's because it finally got fixed thanks to a lovely patron named Starscream donating a new audio box, which fixed the mono problem. I'm finally in stereo. Let's look at our skin for today. Spotted Gray, a well-cared-for gray with big brown spots who has killed for tuna in the past. We're going to equip that. And we're going to head to the level. Now we're doing Act 4. Help!
Theo eyed his new surroundings curiously, noting the piles of unused tiles and pipes. Across what little floor existed, there was a sharp drop, from which a blinding light and tremendous heat emanated. Besides this abyss sat... that bloody robot.
I remember you, robot. Building material. These stacks of materials are most likely intended for construction purposes, so it said there were 2 in here. See if we can find the other one. Electrical bot. A busy little drone making sure the power is in the right place, hopefully at the right time.
Theo firmly averted his eyes from the robot and simply pretended that it did not exist. Theo focused on the path ahead, choosing to politely ignore the annoyance in the room. A shifting wall of energy was barring his progress. Perhaps turning off that strange machine would help. With the barrier successfully disabled, Theo was happy to move on and leave that robotic liability behind. Surely the killer couldn't be too far now.
Sorry, Mr. Robot, you can't go with us. Act 2 followed.
Entering another area with limited flooring, Theo wondered why all of these rooms seemed so unfinished. Maybe the... It was starting to look like Theo might have a tail. No pun intended.
Let's see. Ramshackle wall. A wall made of garbage and I-beams. Bored robots aren't the best architects, it seems. Oh, they're trying their best. Come on. Be nice. You can see how many there were for this one. Let me double check. Nope, I can't. Anything else I can click on? Doesn't look like it.
Oh! Apparently, Theo's new friend had some value after all.
Oh, well, thank you, new friend. See, he's not that bad. Theo, you can be nice to him. Okay, so...
Caution was probably wise, but there seemed to be no other way. As the oblivious robot scampered over an obvious switch, Theo braced for the consequence.
Good job, robot. Oh dear, that was my fault. There we go. Good job. Act 3, switch it up.
Contemplating the state of the room ahead, Theo reluctantly accepted that perhaps the robot's help might be necessary.
Well, he is a good boy. Out of order sign. A sign warning potential passengers of a broken elevator. Recently placed. You know, at least the supervillain is nice enough to use, warnings and everything. He doesn't want his henchmen hurt. Come on. That means you have to hire more henchmen and do more paperwork. It's just a nightmare. The heat coming from this pipe is so extreme, it's a wonder the whole thing hasn't melted. Alright, so we've got...
As he threw a disparaging glance at the machine, Theo noticed some worn writing on his chassis. D4Z.
He is our friend. I like him.
As a loud noise reverberated behind Theo, he wondered just what he had done to be cursed with a trundling mishap.
Be nice. Mean voice.
Though his companion seemed to be some kind of cosmic setback magnet, Theo had to admit, Daz was endearing, aggravatingly so.
You like him, you like him. Rupture.
Overwhelmed by the heat pouring from the broken machine, Theo mourned the obvious failings of engineering safety standards. How on earth was he going to reach the elevators beyond this mess?
Let's see. Heavily damaged machine. That'll probably require a specialist or two. Hopefully it's not important. No, we don't have our buddy here. There he is. Hey!
Theo flinched when he heard the now familiar sound of Daz activating another switch. He cautiously opened his eyes and was pleasantly surprised to see something positive had finally come from this robot's help.
Go on, little buddy.
As Daz hurried into the elevator, Theo found himself growing slightly less aggrieved. Perhaps having the little fellow around might even be useful.
He is such a good boy. Act 4, Level 5, Foundry.
As the elevator rattled to a screeching halt, Theo found himself suspended on what could kindly be referred to as a rough and ready bridge, or not so kindly as an invitation to a long plummet to certain death. Theo watched as Daz leapt gracefully down onto the scaffold to aid in his journey across.
Foundry 1 of 3. Foundry, a key component in weapon manufacturing, and the perfect place for a final of an 80s era action movie. So if you guys haven't seen it, you should come and watch my streams. I do Genshiken a lot on the weekend, among other things.
Theo stared at him, shaming Daz with his steely gaze.
Geothermal generator. An answer to the question of why evil geniuses are always in close proximity to magma flows. Not sure it's worth the risk, though. One more to find. Tribal warning. A modern technology meets primitive method of delightful. So that does that. Can't go that way. You've got to go the other way. So we got to get you to go the other way, baby boy.
Considering the barrier ahead of him, Theo wondered if Daz could assist him once more, with the right guidance, of course. Theo found he quite enjoyed the company of the small robot, when he wasn't actively annoying him. The unlikely companions set off into the cave, ignoring the tribal warnings decorating the entrance. They were probably just for show anyway.
Graveyard.
The large chamber was filled with the clanks and groans of tortured metal, punctuated by the steady drip of stagnant oil.
Let's see. Laser robot blueprints. A breakdown of the components used in the creation of laser robots. Apparently they contain worrying amounts of unstable materials. Dangling bot corpse. Not particularly upsetting for organics, but a truly harrowing sight for robot kind. Where, oh where could the next one be? We know there's 3, but we've only found 2. Oh well, if we don't find them all, that's fine.
Faced with a seemingly impassable split in the floor, Theo stopped to think of a way around. Wait, did he just... disregarding the danger, Daz bravely leapt into the chasm to aid his feline companion. Surely he'd be fine.
Good boy, Mr. Robot. Daz. Good boy. I'm gonna rename you Plank after our favorite.
Oh, no.
Did I do it? Oh, it skipped it. Okay. And with that, that means we're done. Let's look at the opening for Act 5. And then, I'll see you guys next time.
Stunned by the loss of poor Daz, Theo slowly padded onwards, barely noticing the more polished and functional walls around him.
See you guys next time. Bye, everyone.